Well, I've wanted to do this video for a very long time, comparing a short sleeve wetsuit to a long sleeve wetsuit on the swim. But my short sleeve wetsuit was just not compatible with the long sleeve wetsuit's quality. Then Sumarpo came out with the Vanguard Sleeveless wetsuit. So now we're going to have a direct comparison between the long sleeve and a short sleeve in a very controlled area right here, Rainbow River in Dunellen, Florida, 3.6 miles. It's a timing just about the same as an Ironman swim, so we'll see how that does. With the quality of the wetsuits being exactly the same, we're going to get an exact measurement because this river is always 72 degrees and always flowing the same. We always get into the same place. We always get out in the same place for a very good wetsuit test. 3.6 miles in about the length of time that you would be for an Ironman swim. So we're going to test the comfort, we're going to test the speed, we're going to actually even do a wetsuit on and off race. So stay right here because I'm going to give you some really great information. Let's take a look at this Sumarpo company in particular, the Vanguard wetsuits that we are using in our test. The company is an eco-based company that's based in the United States, and they use the most eco-friendly products in the wetsuit industry. They use a water-based, not benzene-based glue to put the wetsuit together, and the material that they use is fully recyclable and biodegradable. So after years of using their wetsuits, you can send them back and they recycle them and remake new wetsuits out of the material. Their low module tech reduces physical consumption of energy as you're swimming, helps your biomechanics, and helps your swim stroke without constricting your shoulders, as they have 680% stretch in their neoprene. Speaking of neoprene, they're using not Yamamoto's Aero Dome neoprene, but they're using a more advanced Aero Atom material, which gives you 5% more buoyancy over the older Aero Dome. Their Tie Alpha seal system seals tightly at the neck and at the cuffs to allow no water to enter into the wetsuit through those places, and so the water that's inside the suit gets warm, gives you more insulation over a conventional style wetsuit. Their patented slip skin technology allows your water to slide over their wetsuit faster and better and be more aqua dynamic than other wetsuits on the market. The stable Trinity support is using different layers and different thicknesses of neoprene on the front, on the back, on the legs front, on the legs back, allowing your body to stay more level in the water and make it so you can swim faster using less energy. I'll be honest with you, I've raced in both of these wetsuits now, and the sleeveless wetsuit and the sleeved wetsuit, I feel no difference in my ability to get my arm up and make a full stroke. They're amazing as far as the flexibility in the shoulders. But all of that said, these guys aren't cheap, guys. These are in the $500 range for a wetsuit, but you get all that technology, and I can tell you that they are a faster wetsuit than anything I've ever used before. Now, putting a wetsuit on and taking a wetsuit off is really important in racing. So we're gonna put that to a test right now and have a race putting the sleeveless and the sleeved wetsuit on and off. Being a triathlete, one of the most important things we have to think about when we're getting a new wetsuit is how well it goes on and how well it goes off. Going on just makes for less stress during the race or for a training session, but how it comes off is really, really important. And how we're gonna test that is we're actually going to do a race. We're gonna race the sleeveless wetsuit versus the sleeved wetsuit. Our first test is gonna be with the Sumarpo sleeveless wetsuit, putting it on. I put a little bit of tri-slide on like I would before a race, timer on, and go. There we go. 27 whole seconds to put on this wetsuit. So after the sleeveless wetsuit going on a little over 25 seconds, let's see what we can do with the sleeved wetsuit. This one should take a little longer because they're having to put on the sleeves, but with the Sumarpo wetsuit, they do have that inner liner that helps you put the wetsuit on and take it off faster. And go. wetsuits go on. Now, let's check out how fast we can get this wetsuit off after we're done with the swim. This is important. Can you skip those wetsuit strippers? Well, here goes. 3, 2, 1, and go. Done. I got that wetsuit off in 12 seconds, 12 whole seconds. Now we're gonna see how long it takes to get this Sumarpo full sleeve wetsuit off. And go.
Here we are at KP Hole in Dunellen, Florida. We're going to swim 3.6 miles and test out the Sumarpo wetsuit. This is going to be a really fun swim. I've done it many times in many different wetsuits, so it's going to be a really good test of this quality, eco-friendly product. All right, so I just finished the Rainbow River Swim 3.6 miles with the Sumarpo Vanguard Sleeveless wetsuit. My impressions of this wetsuit, very nice, and didn't get any water inside. Neckline, exactly what I expected from Sumarpo. Beautiful, no chafing, no water getting in, no tightness around the neck. The difference between the long sleeve and the sleeveless was all from the middle chest up. Everything at the bottom felt exactly the same as the long sleeve, but I missed the volume up in the shoulders of neoprene to hold my upper body up. I kind of had a feeling of just being heavy at the front of my body. It was a little slower as far as flexibility. This wetsuit's great, warmth good, had no problems whatsoever. Putting it on, getting it off, all a piece of cake. Yeah, great wetsuit.
So the swims are done. We've got the results. They're in, and what I'm gonna give you is my impression of the sleeveless versus the sleeved wetsuit and let you know when you would use one or the other. Now, the sleeveless wetsuit swam Rainbow River in a total time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 11 seconds. And the sleeved wetsuit swam Rainbow River in 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 33 seconds. A difference of less than 2 minutes for a 3.6 mile swim in identical conditions. So with that said, my experience with these wetsuits is amazing. I love the wetsuits very much. They go on easy, they come off easy, they both swim very much the same. So if you're getting value from this video, make sure you go down and give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. How do you get a Sumarpo wetsuit? You click in the link down below in my description. I am an affiliate. I will make a little bit off of each wetsuit that you guys buy.
After all the testing, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna use the Vanguard sleeveless wetsuit in all sprint races that are wetsuit legal. Now, when it comes to an Olympic distance race, I'll have to determine whether I want to wear the sleeveless one in the warmer water and the sleeved in the colder. But then when it comes to a half or a full Ironman, I'm going to definitely use full sleeveless wetsuit, regardless of water conditions, as long as it's wetsuit legal. If you want to find out how to get a wetsuit off real fast, check out this video right here and a couple more tips with that. This is Coach John. Boom. I'm out.